Hey, thanks for stopping by. My name is Brandon. Busch Gardens Tampa is headlined by its remarkable coaster collection. There are other fantastic ride types contained within the park as well. I put together a list of what I believe to be the 10 best rides at the park. This includes coasters, transport rides, and some of the more thrilling flat rides. Here's a reference for the tier system I use that will be on the top left corner for the roller coasters. Starting with number 10, we have the Serengeti Express. This ride's very unique because, while it's number 10 on my list, it's very likely your grandmother's favorite ride at the park. I have to admit, Granny has good taste, because this train ride is the perfect break from the abundance of thrill at the park. Tracks span nearly the entire outer perimeter of the park and notably make their way through the park's safari area. The amount of wildlife you're able to see on this ride is truly staggering. There are giraffes, zebras, rhinos, gazelle, and more that you'll see during the ride. The animals get so close the train may even need to stop to allow wildlife to cross the tracks. The ride also includes tunnel sections and even a lighting package during the Christmas season. It may seem a dime a dozen at parks, but this train ride is arguably the best one at a park. The animals, views, and chill atmosphere make this a much needed chill addition to the park. At number 9, it's Cobra's Curse. Cobra's Curse is an excellent family ride with an imposing cobra statue that can be seen around the park. The ride contains many unique elements such as the elevator lift and dynamic ride positions that change over the course of the ride. The indoor queue is very well done and the AC is a very welcome addition after walking through the blazing summer heat. The minimum rider height is 42 inches, which makes this an excellent option for young children visiting the park. It's a very tame way of introducing them to backwards and spinning sections on a roller coaster. The whole ride was woven beautifully into the Egypt section of the park, and the ride as a whole package is probably the best themed at the park. It's a standout attraction for young guests and was an excellent addition to the park. Coming in at number 8, we have a questionable but fun choice, Tigress. Tigress is one of the better clone models in the market. The one-train shuttle nature of this ride can lead to some pretty brutal lines. These are excellent rides at small parks and boardwalks, but prove to be a little frustrating to get on at bigger parks. Regardless, this ride features a swing launch with the third pass being the strongest launch in the park. Blast up the vertical track has a nice intensity. The drop following the roll gives solid airtime. I personally have never been the biggest fan of the roll at the top because my shoulders would dig hard into the comfort collar. With the removal of the collars, I suspect this element will be a lot better and the ride as a whole will be greatly improved. I still don't think Busch is the kind of park that should have a compact clone in the corner of an area, but I do have a good time on Tigress when I choose to get on. I imagine this placement would be shocking to some, but I have to speak my truth. Sheikra is at number 7. This is not an indictment on Sheikra, but rather a testament to the quality of the rides ahead. Sheikra was the park's first 200-foot roller coaster and the first B&M dive in the United States. The ride was incredibly notable at the time and drew large interest from people of all kinds. Vertical drop still intimidates people to this day, even though it has been outdone by rides further up on the list. Despite the size, the coaster actually offers a smooth, somewhat relaxing ride compared to the larger roller coasters at the park. The drops are legitimately fun, offering nice pops of airtime, but the rest of the ride feels like a means to an end. The splashdown was a great addition as it adds kineticism to the surrounding area while also offering observers a chance to cool off. It's still a great roller coaster, but with the deluge of dives coming to parks in the last decade, its novelty is worn off. Number 6 goes to what many consider to be the best flat ride model on the market. Serengeti Flyer is an enormous air-powered swing machine that provides riders with loads of floater airtime, as well as crushing positives as the ride swings towards the ground. The restraint's a simple lap bar with a belt, which is the biggest blessing. I want to enjoy rides such as the Giga Discoveries, but the over-the-shoulder restraints on those rides crush me into the seat and make the ride uncomfortable. The way the seats are on Serengeti Flyer, you have ample freedom of movement, and you truly feel like you're floating during the highest parts of the swings. It doesn't fill the hole left by the attraction it replaced, but other than the subpar capacity, this has been a very solid addition to the park's ride lineup. I believe this to be the world's best flat ride. Number 5, we have the anxiety-inducing Falcons Fury. This intimate creation honestly feels like a sick joke. Drop towers are already some of the most unnerving attractions you can get on. This one sweetens the pot by tilting riders face down during the final portion of its ascent. At the top, riders are left facing the earth for several seconds before suddenly being shot down to the ground. Floating out of your seat at a 90-degree angle is arguably the single best element in the entire park. This ride was a brilliant addition as it not only succeeded in being an excellent ride, but also succeeded at being a great entertainment piece. Parkgoers come from all over to watch riders brave the ride, even if they have no intention of doing it themselves. The ride often draws loads of attention online, which in turn gets more people aware of and interested in Busch Gardens Tampa. This is a must-do every time I go to the park, no exceptions. Dashing into 4th place is Cheetah Hunt. This Intamin Blitz coaster has gained quite the mixed reputation over the years. Many label it as a bloated family coaster, it's a complete letdown relative to similar rides of its type. Others see it as a great thrill coaster with punchy launches and exciting moments. I fall in the middle of these two camps, seeing the ride as an amazing moderate thrill coaster, similar to a ride like Hagrid's at Islands of Adventure. Cheetah Hunt had an uphill battle from the start, being the second LSM coaster from Intamin after the universally acclaimed Maverick at Cedar Point. Many expected Cheetah Hunt to be an upgrade to this, but instead it's an entirely different experience. Regardless of the expectations, the final product is an amazing ride. For years it has been the most popular ride in the park with the longest line. It is far from the most intense roller coaster in the park. The coaster provides a long, smooth experience that appeals to people of all types. I won't lie and say having something similar to Maverick wouldn't have been preferable to me, but Cheetah Hunt was exactly what the park needed at the time. The launches are fantastic, and some of the airtime moments are superb. The main thing holding this coaster back currently is the hard restraints. If the ride could get the softer restraints like the ones on Maverick, the forces on this ride would become much more apparent. Roaring into 3rd place is one of the most iconic roller coasters of all time, Kumba. This beast firmly put Busch Gardens Tampa on the roller coaster map when he debuted in 1993. It was by far the largest coaster from manufacturer B&M at the time of its creation, and it remains one of their finest works to this day. The mix of smoothness and intensity was unmatched at the time, and the 4-seat cars allowed the coaster to mow through crowds. The layout, though it may seem cookie cutter now, was masterful, with highlights such as the Hell Roll and helix through the tunnel. The interlocking corkscrews by the entrance has become one of the single most photographed spots on any roller coaster. Sadly, time has not been kind to this beast as its track is worn down and its elements have become played out. The intensity becomes harder to bear as the track and trains begin to wear down. It's a shame this trailblazer no longer gets the respect it deserves. If you can get over the rattle and shake, you'll realize Kumba is one of the most raw and well laid out loopers to ever exist. The rough rides keep this from being elite, but it's a definite must ride anytime I go to the park. Rising from the trenches to claim its spot in 2nd place is Montu. You'd be hard pressed to find many B&M loopers better than Kumba, but Busch Gardens has what some consider to be the best one ever built. B&M Invert was a true revolution in the coaster world when it debuted in 1992 with Batman the Ride at Six Flags Great America. This model began to dominate the market, with the majority of major parks receiving one in the following 2 decades. It seems the B&Ms built in the 90s had an extra bite compared to models built in the 2000s and on. Montu and Kumba provide strong evidence towards this theory. Montu is 30 years old and still butter smooth. This is crazy when you consider just how intense this invert is. The Batwing element in the back left seat on the last row is one of the single most intense elements on a roller coaster. The rolls from trench to trench are violent. Every loop has an intense yank at the top, and even the drop off the mid-course has some whip. Diving into the ground and through tunnels really elevates the ride experience and makes the coaster feel much faster than the advertised 60 miles per hour. This ride is undeniably elite and, in my opinion, a flawless roller coaster. It's more the limitations of the model itself, such as the lack of airtime and the fact that almost every park has an invert, that keeps this from being an ultra elite ride. This would be the best ride at a lot of parks, but there's a ride here that some consider the best in the world. Coming in at number 1, to the surprise of no one, is Iron Gwazi. The fact that this even exists is still sort of unbelievable, as it was one of the most desired projects by fans everywhere, ever since RMC came on the scene in 2011. The rough and maligned Gwazi was mostly torn down and built up into the 206-foot behemoth that now dominates the park's skyline. Montu served the park well as a signature attraction for 25 years, but it was past time for the park to have a new star attraction. What Iron Gwazi has done for the park is immeasurable in terms of elevating the ride lineup. It's perhaps RMC's most intense roller coaster, as it holds its incredible speed amazingly well through the layout as it slams riders into large drawn-out elements. Beyond vertical drop launches riders out of their seats and makes the drop on Sheikra look like Weenie Hut Jr. The death roll is a ferocious and disorienting element that provides a bizarre sideways airtime. The wave turn over the station has you straight floating out of your seat. Every airtime hill is like a bucking bronco. The ride ends with a car crash into the final brakes. I swear the ride has enough force at the end to easily blast through another 1,000 feet of track. Iron Gwazi is the textbook definition of an ultra elite coaster. It says people travel from other parts of the world just to ride this roller coaster. Here's a recap of my top 10 rides in the park. I encourage you to make time for all these when you come visit the park. No, Iron Gwazi is the main draw now, but all these attractions are worth your time. If you've made it this far, thank you. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. I'd love to share more thoughts on Busch Gardens and other parks with you. I encourage you to share what your favorite attractions at Busch Gardens are. I want this channel to be a place of discussion for everyone who finds it. I look forward to sharing more with you in the future.